Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I just want to talk to everyone here just briefly about something that really bothers me a bit. It's something I've touched upon before, but it's something that I struggle with continually. And I finally got my wife to start training. My wife now squats, deadlifts, and overhead presses 3 times a week, along with core work, accessory work, and things like that. And I have her strength training. But it took me 2 years to get her to that point, and I ran into so much resistance with her family, and I got to the point where I almost cussed out. I bit my tongue and almost cussed out her father when he tried to say, "Oh, I hope you're not taking protein and lifting heavy weights so you'll get big and bulky like Jason," after I finally convinced her to start training. And she still got resistance from members of her family due to this cultural stigma that women who lift heavy weights are going to get big and bulky. But the reality is my wife has lost 6 kilos while eating the same amount of calories she was eating and gaining weight. She had put on something like 10 kilos of weight while eating the food that she's eating now, and she's dropped 6 kilos just from weight training and doing no other changes to her lifestyle. And she's noticing a dramatic difference finally, and she's seeing what I've been telling her all this time, that women who do heavy strength training get skinnier. They don't get bigger. And it's something that bothers me, is that because we have this cultural stigma, and it's partially due to us having a history of expecting women to be weak. And even though we've had women's lib and women have an equal place in society, women are still expected culturally to be weak and helpless. And therefore, there is a cultural stigma against them weight training. And the reality is, women, because everyone is getting fatter and fatter and fatter and more obese, women want that skinny, toned look. Or they'll look at someone like Jessica Biel, and I would say that an actress like Jessica Biel represents a very extreme natural physique for a woman who isn't competing in bodybuilding. But that's a very extreme physique. That's a very athletic physique for someone who doesn't use any drugs. And that's relatively hard to obtain. But the fastest way for women to obtain that type of body is through very heavy strength training. And yet, when you go to a gym, what do you see most women do? You look, they're packed into the yoga classes, they're packed into the Zumba classes, they're packed into these different classes that are not true heavy strength work. And if they are out in the weight room, you see a few of them squatting and things, but you see them wasting their time doing silly accessory movements with very light weight. And all of these programs and the type of training that is marketed towards women is always marketed to tell them, oh, to give them slim, toned muscles and not get big and bulky, when the truth is the type of training they think is going to get them big and bulky will get them skinnier faster than the other bullshit that's being marketed to them. Heavy basic work. And it'll do it with less hours spent per week training. And it's so frustrating, and I think for everyone who's involved in this industry, it's really frustrating because this is killing our women. There's so few women involved in very serious hardcore training. I mean, I look at my demographics on my channel, my audience is 4.3% female. There's just not this interest in females in hardcore training, and I think it's a big problem for men too, because men who live the lifestyle based around being athletic or strength training or powerlifting or bodybuilding, who take their training and their fitness as a very serious part of their life, it is very difficult to find women who do also. And the ones that are involved in fitness, they tend to be more involved in endurance type things rather than true strength training. And what this is doing is that it's killing our women. We all know the health benefits. We know what effects strength training and true strength training have on the body compared to these other forms of exercise. The effects on things like osteoporosis, cancer, diabetes, all these other problems are so much more massive. And we're talking about the possibility of adding 5, 10, 20 years of quality to life towards the end of your lifespan. And all of you guys out there, the younger guys who are saying, well, I'm not interested in a partner. Well, you might want a wife one day. And if you do, you're probably going to want a wife who's going to live to be healthy and live a long time, and who has a lifestyle that matches yours. And I would also ask you, as you guys start to get older, I watched my own mother die at a very young age. My mother died at 48. She was completely out of shape, never trained, never worked out, ate terrible. She dropped dead at 48 years old. And a lot of you are even seeing now, you're seeing your grandmothers wasting away, needing walkers, hip replacement surgeries. Had they gotten involved in strength training 30 years ago, 40 years ago, they probably wouldn't be in that situation they're in now. So there are women in your life that you care about, and this cultural stigma against this is killing our women. And sometimes I wonder, with all the marketing in the other direction, what can we do about it? And that's a question I would pose to my subscribers. I'm someone who at this point has a big outreach. I have a voice that people hear, and it's going to continue to grow. I've got 38,000 subscribers now, and it's going up several thousand a month. So my question to my subscribers, what ideas do you have for me to have some better outreach to get these facts out to women, to help women understand that the serious heavy lifting and that strength training, even if it's just 3 times a week like I have my wife doing, will get them to their goals faster. It will improve their quality of life. It'll help them lose weight while eating more food. It'll make giving birth to children easier, recovering after easier. It will prevent them from having all these osteoporosis problems and reduce their rates of cancer and everything else. I don't know how we get that message out to women when the vast majority of the culture that's in the mainstream is pushing them in the other direction and pushing them as far away from effective training as possible. So I would love to know what suggestions my subscribers have on this, on how we reach these women and let them know the truth. All right, guys, so that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you next time. But let me give you guys a bicep shot first.